Hey everybody, welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs, and big news on the Mizzou quarterback front with Jake Garcia transferring to Mizzou. Before we begin with that, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Guys, late Thursday night, there's a tweet out from Pete Thamel. The tweet heard round the world for Mizzou sports. Jake Garcia transferred from the U to Mizzou. Everybody following Mizzou football said, what? That was essentially the reaction. It was like shock, kind of confusion, and then like, wait a minute, this guy? There's a lot of excitement. And the reason is pretty simple, and we're going to get into that right here. So a little bit about Garcia first. 6'3", 194 pounds, originally from Whittier, California, which is essentially LA. As I said, he spent the past 2 seasons playing for the Miami Hurricanes, but not before a detour. His senior year of high school, he played in Georgia, high school football. Why? Well, you may remember this story in the media. During the COVID pandemic, his family decided to find a way to get him to play football, because there was no high school football where he lived due to the pandemic. So his parents legally separated so that a move to Georgia would be on the level according to all the laws and whatever in Georgia. They separated just for the purpose of him being able to play football. Think of that what you will. Now, as I said, he spent the past 2 seasons with the Hurricanes. He redshirted in 2021. In 2022, he threw for 803 yards. He had 5 touchdown passes, 4 picks, and a completion percentage just a hair below 60%. He was the backup to Tyler Van Dyke, and Van Dyke is going back to the U. He's an NFL type guy. He got graded as kind of a mid-round prospect. So he's heading back to the Hurricanes for 1 more year, and Garcia did not want to spend his 3rd year kind of stuck as the backup. So here we are. He entered the portal on Tuesday, and by Thursday night, locked in with Mizzou. Now coming out of high school, he was a top 50 recruit, no matter what recruiting service you use. Rivals had him 47th, a 6.0 4-star. And he will have 3 years of eligibility remaining once he gets to Mizzou. Now, this is the part where normally I have a list of notable schools who went after Garcia. Well, in this case, the answer is everyone. There's no point in making a list because everybody wanted him. Now, that's out of high school. Coming out of the transfer portal, it's tough to know. As I said, this is a Thursday night thing that developed. He only entered the portal on Tuesday. So barely 48 hours. And yeah, there's just no knowing who contacted him, who was interested, who actually offered him a scholarship. There's no real knowing. Now, as far as his play, he's not afraid to throw the ball around. He's not apprehensive with his decision making. He's not much of a runner, but he's got the skill set. He's got the tools. So, we'll see what happens. Now, for Missouri, there's a number of ways to look at this, and they're all very important given how pivotal this year is for the program. So why go after a quarterback at all? So for Drinkwitz to do this, I think tells us 2 things. 1, he's not 1,000,000% sure that Brady Cook or Sam Horn is the guy to go to 7-5, 8-4, or better in the 2023 season. Well, why does it have to be the 2023 season? Because I think Drinkwitz knows that he has to have a quarterback. He has to for this coming season, because if the football team goes 6-6 again, or thereabouts, there's a decent chance that he gets fired. I mean, I'm not going to come out and guarantee it, but 6-6 after 6-7 seasons. That's 4 years to do that. That's not good enough. So we'll see what happens with all that. But I think that was part of the calculus. Now, this is important for spring ball. I mean, this is a byproduct, not the reason you go get a guy, but it helps that Sam Horn is no longer going to be the only scholarship quarterback available for spring football. I mean, heaven forbid something happened to Sam Horn in spring ball. They'd be walk-ons with the first team offense by default. So remember, Brady Cook is out after surgery to repair a torn labrum. So yeah, Sam Horn's it until Garcia gets there. Now, you might ask why. Well, why was it so out of the blue? Well, I think this was a case of PR management. A year ago, Missouri very publicly went after a number of quarterbacks, all of whom visited and then chose somewhere else until Mizzou got down to Jack Abraham. This year, it's been very, very quiet, just so there's less drama and less of a chance for the team Drinkwitz to look silly. So I think until Garcia is physically on campus, in class, enrolled, locked in, I don't think you'll see anything in terms of a bat signal or any announcement or what have you. Now, I'm filming this Friday. I would expect this to happen pretty short order. But, we'll see. I think that's why Thamel's tweet caught everyone off guard. In terms of, a lot of people seemed attached to Sam Horn. Why is the big question. And unless they actually personally know him or something, the answer is because they think he's the guy to make the Missouri offense explosive. They think he's the guy to take Mizzou football to the next level. And so I think people need to realize Jake Garcia might well be the guy to do that too. So I think there's not really a reason to be upset about this because Sam Horn's the guy or anything of that nature. This is recruiting in the modern era. You load up on as much talent as you possibly can, and then you let everyone just go sort it out themselves. Let them go play, and you see who's best. That's what you have to do. The quarterback situation for Missouri is a little bit more comfortable while still unproven. And yes, I'm calling Brady Cook unproven, even though he is the incumbent starter. You have Cook. And then you have 3 4-stars. You've got Horn. You've got Garcia. You've got incoming freshman Jabari Johnson. And then you've got Dylan Leibel, the walk-on who just announced his transfer earlier this week. You're giving yourself a better chance that among these guys, someone's going to emerge. I feel confident that if Brady Cook is the starter again in 2023, it's because he's elevated his game beyond what it was in 2022. If he's not, if it's Horn, Garcia, or even Johnson, then it's because they are just so good that they just came in and beat everybody out. That's what Missouri has to do. That's modern football in terms of shaping a roster and a depth chart. So, yeah, you can't get attached. Maybe Garcia wins out and next winter Sam Horn's in the transfer portal. Well, yeah, everyone's got high hopes for Horn, but if Garcia beats him out, that's important. That means Garcia is the guy and that he is taking the Mizzou offense to the next level, presumably. I'll end this with kind of a fun note. When Jake Garcia moved to Georgia for his senior year of high school, his team won a state championship. And the quarterback of the team that they beat in that game, the championship game, Sam Horn. Just thought that was kind of fun. Anyway, this is big news for Missouri. And it's good news for Missouri, frankly. That's all I've got for this video, guys. Thanks for checking us out. Hope to see you next time.